I don't think people have fully grasped just how much of a bullet, no pun intended, we dodged on Saturday. If the president, if the former president had been killed, and he was an inch away from dying, it was just he just turned the second that the first shot was unloaded, and immediately it went right through his ear. If his head was straight on, like when he turned his head, you could see the trajectory of how the bullet went right through. But if he doesn't turn his head, that bullet's going right there, and he's dead. And down he would have went, and it would have been a nightmare of proportions that I still don't think people can truly wrap their heads around. And I do not support Trump. But I think there comes a point where people need to be very clear about how dangerous a moment we're in right now, and I don't think they get it. I don't think they get that this is a very serious moment. Credit to former President Trump for calling specifically for Secret Service protection for RFK, and he got it earlier today. There are people who are saying that this isn't real. Okay, well, I'm going to show you that this is real, and I'm going to explain. So here we go.
Something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hold on. We're going to start this again. Listen, this night is getting off to a fantastic start. It can't get worse. Or could it? Maybe it will. We'll see. So this is seconds before the first shot is fired.
They see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Remember, it happens like that. Just a slight tilt of the head. If he doesn't tilt his head, he's dead. That's how quick this happens. But instinctively, he knew something got him. That was his instinct. And it was smart. He didn't immediately drop. Now, they say it was a 22 that he was shooting. So he was, I guess it's probably around a second, something like that. But he knew as soon as he got hit, he knew it was bad, and it was almost like in slow motion, but he knew to drop, and that's what he did. Now, there is a suggestion that he didn't actually get shot, that it was actually a ricochet off of, I think they said it was like a speaker. I mean, you could clearly see that this guy who was shooting was preparing very carefully, even though it looked like tons of people in the crowd could clearly see this guy well in advance of him getting into his sniper's nest or whatever makeshift version of it he was going to have. That the people on the ground saw it, that they were pointing their finger. There's somebody up there. Somebody's trying to, and they got a rifle. And this was several minutes. And you've got Secret Service agents that are in their own nests that are watching this. And so, again, I'm not getting into the divine intervention stuff. Sometimes people are just lucky, and this man has been lucky forever. He's been lucky forever. You know, the reaction from the crowd I find very interesting, and I do wonder the difference that would happen if this was at, like, let's say, a Democratic crowd. First of all, I look at a lot of the men in the crowd, and their immediate instinct is to protect the women that are around them, which is obviously always nice to see. But at the same time, somebody brought this up. I don't remember who it was. Brought up earlier today. It was very important. Just discussing the fact that there wasn't a mass panic in the crowd in the sense that they just started to stampede out of there. That is a sign also of a crowd, especially in northwestern Pennsylvania. Probably most of the people there either own or know how to operate firearms. And so because of that, their instincts kick in when it comes to hearing gunfire. Whereas people who are not used to hearing gunfire will freak out. I've only heard gunfire a couple of times. When I lived in a rough neighborhood, I heard it a couple of times. So I really think that it is a testament to the crowd and how they were able to handle this. That's part one. We'll continue. Now let's stop. You see, now what I would want to know is, obviously one person was killed, another person was badly injured, and of course Trump just missed assassination. So the guy in question, doesn't even matter what his name is, to be honest, but fact of the matter is, he was able to squeeze off somewhere between 8 and 10 rounds, is my understanding. But if the Secret Service agent had him in his sights, I don't understand how he doesn't literally have him in the scope ready to clip him, even though apparently my understanding from what I read was that he kept saying, I've got this guy in my sights. He's clearly pointing a rifle. What do you want me to do? And he was told to stand down. So I don't know. A lot of this stuff is very hard to understand without going into the conspiratorial territory. It's very hard to do that, especially nowadays where you don't even know what to trust. How do you know what to trust? The president drops to the ground, and now they're going to get him up. I want to be as crystal clear as I can be regarding this moment. If people caught the photograph, all of that. It is absolutely incredible how many people have gone on social media and suggested that this was not only like this was somehow staged, and that somehow he decided that he was just going to raise his fist in the air. First of all, if you've ever had an out-of-body experience, the rate in which adrenaline is flowing through your body, it can't be measured. It's like jumping out of an airplane, which I haven't done, and I don't think I ever will. But his instincts were to show his supporters, I was going to say his followers, a lot of them are followers too, but to show his supporters that I'm okay and I will fight on, even though I know that I just danced with the devil for a second and almost lost my life. But his instinct to be defiant in that moment was all adrenaline and nothing more. Because the second he's walking off that stage, he looks like a white ghost. He looks like he went into shock, which is what a lot of people would do. He's trying to fight that off, but like I said, these moments, they are very difficult. Colin, if you can, grab the photo. If you can grab it. I'm glad that he wasn't killed. I'm glad that the reaction has been, at least from people on his side, where a lot of people thought that that there would be some type of a backlash of some kind. The only real backlash I ever saw was a couple of people who went up to the corporate media nest and was telling them that this is your fault, that you did this. Well, what's there to say?